My name is M.Land and I will be doing my IB Theater research project over Note Theater. In this presentation, I will be delving into the history of Note Theater, performance conventions and techniques, and a plethora of other aspects of Note Theater that I have found while researching this subject. What is Note Theater? Note Theater is a Japanese traditional type of theater that was founded in Japan, and it is one of the oldest existing theaters to this day. Unlike Western theater, where the performers act out a story mainly through speaking and voice inflection, in Note Theater, the performers are trying to tell a story through visual appearances and body movements. The plays are often based on traditional Japanese literature, like The Tale of Genji and a plethora of other ones. So, the origin of Note Theater. Where did Note Theater originate? Note Theater originated in the 14th century in Japan, as I mentioned before. The word note is derived from the Sino-Japanese word, which means talent or skill. A playwright, actor, and theorist named Zimi Motokiyo popularized Note Theater, and he wrote about 100 No plays that are considered to be canons to this day. He theorized about No, and 4 main troupes were established, and they were sponsored by shrines and temples. They were also influenced by ancient dramas and festivals. The Tokugawa Shogunate was the highest ranking general, and he implemented many restrictions on Note Theater, and this led to less innovation and more tradition. Note Theater was performed to the aristocracy and the higher class rather than like lower ones, and they were mainly performed on lucky or days considered to be auspicious. But there were some performances available to the poor. Components of a Note program. So there are very specific elements that a Note program consists of. There are 5 types of Note plays: the Kamimono, Shiramono, Katsurumono, Jindaimono, Kyoto-mono, and the Kichukumono. And the Kamimono features the sacred story of Shinto shrines, which is a type of religion. The Shiramono features warriors like the Atsumori. The Katsurumono, also known as wig plays, features plays about women played by men. The Jindaimono featured naturalistic type of theater. The Kyoto-mono was also known as mad woman plays because it usually features a woman played by a man who loses a child or a lover and then goes insane. Lastly, the Kichukumono when known as like demon plays. That's why you see this demon mask here, and it usually features supernatural beings. So a traditional Note program is an all-male performance that typically has 5 Note plays with comedic kyojin in between them. In present-day Note Theater, it is still an all-male-based theater, but there are 2 Note plays and 1 comedic piece. The plays are short, about 10 pages long, and the plays tend to be from 30 minutes to 2 hours. In traditional Note Theater, the whole program could last about 8 hours because it depended on the number of plays and the length of the plays. Each play has 2 scenes, and the language in the play is a mix of prose and verse, which is mostly sung or chanted. And last but not least, every No play ends in a dance setting. The No stage is a very simple place. In traditional No theater, they were originally done outside, but present-day No theater is performed inside. They tried to make it as similar to the outside as possible, which is why you have things such as roof, bridge with a handrail and a pine tree. The seats located in front of the stage are called the showman, while the seats on the left side of the stage are called the waki showman. Audience members sitting in the showman section have the best view of the mask effects, while the advantage of sitting in the waki showman is close proximity. Next, costumes. During the time of Zimi, costumes were very modest, but because the Tokugawa Shogunate implemented many restrictions and made it majority for the rich. The costumes became more finely crafted with richer materials. But kimono, and as time went on, this was the norm. Yeah, so next. The roles. So there are four main roles: the Shiite, the Kaijin, the Heihachi, and the Waki. The Shiite is the main protagonist or lead role. The Waki is the foil of the Shiite. So if the Shiite is playing a strong warrior, then the Waki would probably be like the opposite of that. The Heihachi are the instrumentalists. They're the instrumentalists. There are four instruments used in Noh theater, and they include the nokan, which is a flute specifically used in Noh theater, the otizum, which is a hip drum, the koizumi, which is a shoulder drum, and the taiko, which is a stick drum. The kaijin, which is a type of Japanese theater, performs comical interludes during the Noh performances. Again, kaijin theater. So as I mentioned in the last slide, the kaijin is a type of comical Japanese theater, but it is also implemented in Noh theater. Kaijin theater contains very similar aspects of Noh theater. The examples include exaggerated movement, which is finely controlled, and it has a depth of feeling that can portray many emotions. In the photo of the kaijin theater, it is an Utu Buzaku, which is a monkey trainer pleading with a feudal lord to spare the life of his young monkey, which the lord wants to kill in order to make a quiver. Next. Religious component of Noh theater. So Buddhism is very prevalent in Noh theater. It's very prevalent in Japan. The Buddhism in Noh is Amida, which is a celestial Buddha, and the Lotus Sutra is also present. So, the Suriyashi. During my presentation, I will be performing a pivotal physical convention of Noh theater, which is known as the Suriyashi. This is also known as the sliding feet, and it is an exaggerated gait or stepping mannerism. The Suriyashi is the second step taught to people trying to learn Noh, with the first being the kame, which is a standing posture. To perform this correctly, the feet must slide across the floor, both toes and heels of the feet in near contact with the floor until the end of the step. The upper body shouldn't bob up or down, and the knee should be bent constantly so that the height is remained. This puts stress on the quadricep muscle due to the constant bending of the knee, and you also need a strong core for this. It should not be a dragging motion, but rather a normal human step with compression. So this type of walking gait creates an illusion of the actor floating from some angles of the audience due to the audience being unable to see the feet due to the kimono. This goes back to the theme of supernatural, Buddha, and religion. The size of the steps varies depending on the gender, the age, and the character. So women will usually have smaller steps compared to men, and warriors will usually have larger steps compared to just normal citizens. This is done to present the figure as a greater presence. So even though the length of the stride varies, the Suriyashi should always be fluid, graceful, and relaxed so that the personality and character can match the energy he wants to portray to his audience. So for the moment in theater, I chose the Tale of Genji. In the Tale of Genji, it's a warrior trying to come back and get revenge. So for the Suriyashi, his steps would probably be wider. It probably would be like that. But it's a normal, it's supposed to look normal. The steps are just going to be wider and a bit more graceful. Next. So impact on me as a learner and performer. So researching Noh theater has truly been a learning process. Not only have I learned so much, but through this process, it has also impacted me as a performer. Number one, it has taught me to focus on physical attributes like movements and pacing, rather than solely on the projection and inflection of your voice as a way to communicate with the audience. Second, I have gained a greater understanding of the significance and importance of Buddhism in Japanese culture and society. Third, it has taught me to appreciate the implications of music, visual appearances, dance, costumes involved in no theater to portray the emotions and feelings of the characters. I have also learned how to utilize other aspects, components of drama like spectacle. And lastly, being culturally involved in something like this was interesting because I had no knowledge of it before this presentation. I had to delve deeper than ever because I had no knowledge of what no theater actually was. Thank you.